Hello, everyone. This is Jatinder Luthra, and today I'm back with another solution. And this is about masking Databricks data using Delphix Compliance Service. If you already watched my previous videos, you might know about Delphix Compliance Service. But in general, Delphix Compliance Service is a masking service as an API, which will allow you to discover the sensitive data and mask the sensitive data without managing any of the compliance infrastructure. So now it comes to the point is where the masking data is being used. So you can mask the data in Databricks and you can use it for different cases. Very first is used for non-production environments in your dev, test, and QA environments in Databricks to avoid exposing sensitive data. You can use in your data science and ML projects. You can train your models without violating privacy or compliance rules. You can also share the masked data with your partners or across the team safely. Mass data enables insights without compromising PII or sensitive fields for your AI analytics and BI processes. And on top of it, it's helpful for your compliance and audits. It meets all those GDPR, HIPAA, and other regulatory environments. Now let's move to the demo. So this is a Jupyter notebook, what we have in Databricks, and we're going to read the data from one catalog, mask it, and write it to another catalog. In this case, we see the data we are reading from is DCS Azure source catalog, and we're going to write to analytics DCS Azure mass catalog. So let's look at those two catalogs. This is our source catalog. This is our mass catalog. We are focused in schema, prod app schema under the source, and the destination is analytics app schema under mass catalog. Let's start with discovery process before we do any masking. And when we do the discovery, we are holding the inventory in one of another catalog, which we are using as a metadata store, which is empty right now. Let's run a few of the steps before we run the discovery. We are doing some configurations. As you see, we just import what we need, configure the DCS client, configure Databricks manager, then we initialize Databricks client to read the local data. We do some centralized configuration management by passing all those different API secret keys, what we need. And those secret keys are being stored in Databricks secrets, which includes your tenant IDs, your DCS API service keys. All those information is in Databricks secret. Some helper functions to help us along this way. We also do health check and metadata viewer configurations, and we're setting up those functions here. We want to run the things in parallel, so we set up parallel processings. And let's run the discovery. So when we kick off the discovery, it will populate our inventory, and we will see what has been identified. We have to first change our workflow type to discovery on the top, as you can see here, and we are pointing our discovery to scan app schema. We are not giving any tables list here, so it will scan all the tables under prod app schema. So now our discovery is running. We'll wait for the discovery to complete, and then we will visit our inventory store to see what has been identified. And our discovery process completed. So let's see, our results are populated in inventory, and we see all the results. And we'll focus on specific columns. What's been identified by Delphix Compliance Service Discovery is all those different columns which are identified as sensitive, and then it recommended an algorithm to mask it along with the confidence score. We'll review the results, and we're going to make some changes. And changes basically means applying an algorithm into the assigned algorithm column. Assigned algorithm column will think of it like an instructions for masking step. So the masking step will read the assigned algorithm column. Whatever algorithm is assigned, it will use those algorithms to mask the data in that specific column. And now we see after the changes, for an example, insurance provider has something identified as full name. We don't consider it sensitive. I remove that algorithm. And some algorithms we apply as it is. And for some algorithms like personal identity number, we don't want to nullify it. And instead, I use some different algorithm to change the data. Changes has been done after the review of the discovery. And now we are ready to run the masking. Before we run the masking, let's identify the data we have present in all the different tables. And as we see in original patient details, we have 10,000 rows, and for other tables, we have 10,000 rows each, while it's empty table for our mask schema. So let's go ahead and run the masking workflow, and then we will revisit and see the new records in the masking schema. Let's change this workflow to masking, and we rerun it. And we are doing mask and deliver. We are reading from one source, masking it and writing to another. We can also change it to in place if you want to do in-place masking. And then we are supplying the information about where to write. We are supplying the mask catalog which is our destination, and the destination schema, which is analytics app schema. And our write mode is overwrite, which means if there is any data, it's going to clean up and write the data. In our case, it's already empty. Let's wait for masking to complete, and then we'll look into the data. All right, our masking process completed. Let's count the number of records across both tables, and we see the data is populated. 10,000 records are present in our destination tables. Let's do some comparisons. For person table, pick some row IDs, and we do the comparison between original and mass data. For this specific row ID, we see the first name's been changed, address, city, email addresses, all those things been changed, and then look into the patient details. And here we see our first names, last names, even the full names, all those records have been changed with the masked values, with the synthetic values, along with CPD data. So this is basically whichever columns have the algorithm been applied into our in our inventory management, those columns have been changed and has been masked. And for some tables like vehicle data, it doesn't have any of the sensitive data. So which means we move the data as it is. So our original and mass data remains the same because nothing is sensitive here. This concludes my masking demo for Databricks using Databricks notebooks. If you're interested in the Jupyter notebook as used in this demo, you can get it from my GitHub repo, which is mask-databricks-notebook. You can get this notebook from there along with instructions on how to use this notebook. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next demo. Thank you.